Hi, my name is Garrett Stroup. I'm the owner of OrMobility Physical Therapy and Performance. And today I'm here with Rachel Galligan, an integrative nurse coach who helps with clients support hormonal balance through personalized, sustainable lifestyle changes. Rachel, welcome.
Thanks, Garrett. I'm excited to talk about this because hormonal imbalance is something that I see often. And the good news is that there's so much that we can do to support the body naturally.
Let's start simple. What are some signs that someone might be dealing with when they're experiencing a hormonal imbalance and not even know it?
That's a great question. So, hormones influence almost every system in the body. So, those signs that people might experience can vary widely. But some common ones that I see includes things like fatigue that doesn't go away with rest, mood swings, or anxiety that pops up out of the blue. Some people experience dips in energy levels throughout the day or perceived intolerances to foods or eating events, especially so. We see sleep disruptions, complaints of weight changes, especially around the midsection. People may experience brain fog and a feeling like their brain just isn't processing at normal speeds. So, people often chalk these things up to things like aging, stress, or just being part of life. But often they're actually signs that something in the hormonal system is out of sync.
Okay, so where does nurse coaching come in? How can you support someone who's going through that?
So, as a nurse coach, my role is to walk alongside someone and help them tune into their body, what it's asking for, what it's missing, and how they can restore what feels good. So, we look at the whole picture. We address sleep, stress, nutrition, movement, mindset, and even gut health, because all of those things influence hormone function. And importantly, we don't just talk about doing more, right? We explore the why behind the imbalance. And then we start creating those small, manageable changes that support healing. It's really personalized. So we start with one key area that they're concerned about and that they feel, the most impact from. Maybe it's blood sugar regulation or stress response, and then we build from there. Every client's experience here with me is going to be different because people are different, right? But what matters the most is always, we're always going to start somewhere tailored to that person and what's impacting them the most.
Okay, so you mentioned blood sugar and stress. Can you talk about how those two impact hormones?
Yeah, absolutely. So balancing the energy available to us is huge. Every time that our blood sugar spikes or crashes, it sends out a signal to the body. Either it's feast or famine. And those messages influence other hormones like insulin, estrogen, progesterone, and the thyroid hormones. So when I work with clients, we often begin by looking at how they're fueling their body. Are they skipping meals? Are they eating in a rushed or a distracted state? Are their meals built in a way that they can consume them in a manner that supports sustained energy? Similarly, chronic stress changes how our chemical messengers react in our bodies, and it can throw off the delicate rhythm of our hormonal cycles. If certain hormones stay elevated, your body may start pulling resources away from things like reproductive hormones and digestion because it's trying to survive and not thrive. So, regulating stress and stabilizing blood sugars are foundational to hormone health.
Okay, so for someone who's already eating pretty healthy and still feels off, what would coaching help them discover?
That's so common. I hear that so often. So many people come in saying, I'm doing all the right things, but I still don't feel right. Or they're just plainly curious about what more they could be doing. In coaching, we go deeper. So we explore timing, food quality, their stress levels while eating, sleep patterns, and daily rhythms. I also spend a lot of time exploring that idea of doing all the right things because we really can't expect blanket recommendations to work magnificently for everybody on the planet, right? That's the beauty of the one-on-one time that I get with clients is we get to actually really figure out what's working for them specifically. So I had a client who had this exact sentiment when I first met her. She had tried everything. She had an elaborate routine, listened to all the kinds of resources, and had formulated a plan for what should work for her. but it really wasn't. She still felt like something was wrong. And it wasn't until we really started looking at her personal lived experience, and we made some small changes that allowed her to start experimenting and finding out what actually supported her hormone health instead of trying to incorporate all those blanket statements in and expect them to work. So coaching helps connect the dots between habits and stressors and hormone signals, and we create that plan that matches for the client's life.
So, do you ever bring in tools like breath work or mindfulness for hormone support?
Definitely, definitely. Breath work, mindfulness, grounding, these are simple but powerful tools for nervous system regulation. And what we're promoting is the idea that when your body feels safe, it can shift out of survival mode and make time for thriving. And that's when hormone production can normalize again. So I often guide clients through 2 to 3 minute practices that they can do throughout their day, like before a meal or at bedtime, to help shift their system into that rest and digest mode when hormones can really flourish. That alone can make a difference over time.
Okay. Can you share a client success story, someone who's worked with you to improve their hormone health?
Sure. Yeah. I had one client that I worked with that had irregular cycles, low energy, and she reported trouble sleeping. She had been to a few different providers, but hadn't found a solution that felt really supportive and tailored to her. So through coaching, we started with some small shifts. We looked at how to get more consistent meals in with protein, adding 10 minutes of outdoor movement, and then a simple bedtime wind down routine. We also added a breathwork practice to help with her anxiety at night. So just a few minutes throughout the day, that's all those interventions took, right? Within a month, her energy improved. She said she was sleeping better and she had learned how to work with hormonal symptoms. Most importantly, she felt empowered because she had tools and a better understanding of her body.
That's such an encouraging story. If someone's listening and wondering, is this for me? What would you say?
Yeah, I'd say, if your body feels off and you're tired of pushing through or trying to figure it all out alone, nurse coaching might be the support that you've been looking for. You don't need to wait until it's bad enough. Supporting your hormones through lifestyle is gentle, empowering, and incredibly effective. And it just starts with one step.
Well, Rachel, thank you so much for being here. For anyone listening who wants to connect with you and learn more, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, thanks, Garrett. So you can call our clinic at 541-845-3311, or you can go to our website at ormobility.com. And from the main web page, you can navigate to the nurse coaching tab to learn more about what I do here. You can fill out a form and then I can get in touch with you. I'd love to learn more about your situation using our free discovery call.